Ask Air is a cartoon reviewer made a video about reboots and blackwashing. A video that was not received well by the cartoon community and casual viewers. Yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, this video was not only terrible but also very racist, which you will see why.
So the other day I had an epiphany. I was scrolling mindlessly through my phone as one does, and I came across this monstrosity, The Fairly Odd Parents reboot, and it was just as bad as I expected it to be.
Look how they massacred my boy.
My guy. This isn't Timmy Turner. This is Hazel, a completely different character that is not related to Timmy in any shape or form. Are you blind or something?
Endless drivel plot lines, flashy art style, and an overt unfaithfulness to the source material.
What the hell are talking about? The animation in Fairly Odd Parents' new wish isn't fashly. Is CGI that looks kinda stop motion. Have you seen Flash animation at all, and are you even aware that Flash programs has been discontinued since 2019? Also very funny that you mentioned that unfaithful to the original when the original was unfaithful to itself in the later seasons thanks to Butch. With terrible episodes like It's a Wishful Life that give a very terrible message to young kids.
I'm old enough to remember back in Yale 2016 when everyone was trashing the new reboot at the time, Teen Titans Go. Then it was the Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10 reboot, Rise of TMNT, the list goes on. No one really respects reboots as an inherent property, especially in the manner that they're handled in our modern era. It's almost a safe opinion these days to say, ooh, Hollywood unoriginal, Hollywood bad. But when you take a deeper look at it, you realize it's not just about the unoriginality. These Disney reboots do more than just rip off the original for monetary gain. No, no, no. They actively disrespect the source material while they do it. They have to warp the brand to their liking, whether it's for monetary, social, or storytelling purposes, if you really want to give them that credit.
Okay. Before I'm gonna into a rant about the hate on the live-action Disney remakes, I have to point that Air has no idea what the differences between a reboot, remake, or sequel. And I'm going to explain the following. A reboot involves starting over with a franchise or series, often with new interpretations of the characters, storylines, and setting. The goal is to refresh or modernize the material for a new audience. Reboots disregard the continuity of the original material and start from scratch, which can mean significant changes to the tone, style, or themes. A remake is a new version of an existing film, television show, or other media that stays more faithful to the original material. The basic plot, characters, and themes are usually retained, but the presentation is updated or reinterpreted. Remakes often aim to introduce the story to a new generation or provide a new take on a beloved classic. A sequel continues the story from where a previous film or episode left off. It typically retains the characters and settings from the original and adds new elements to advance the narrative. Sequels build on the existing story, often resolving plot lines or introducing new challenges for the characters. Fairly Odd Parents' New Wish is a sequel, not a reboot. Disney's live-action movies are remakes, not reboots. The fact that this guy didn't do any research to know the major differences between a reboot, remake, or sequel said a lot how much bias he is. Now with that out of the way, can I say the hatred against Disney's live-action remakes is not just blow out of proportion to the point that is not even funny, but also was really stupid, that show the massive double standards and bias with people who hate these movies for brain-dead reasons. I'm so sick and tired of these whiny man-children going on and on how perfect the originals are, and they are mute to criticism, when a large majority of the original classics weren't even good movies in the first place. The Lion King is a overrated piece of garbage that when everyone is so stupid not realize that Scar killed Mufasa when he didn't try to hide his hatred to his brother, and completely contradicting the message of facing your fears. Peter Pan is a racist not fun movie that was more about the crocodile try to eat Hook. Aladdin was also a racist piece of garbage when Jasmine was the real villain here when she solved her problems with violence, like using her tiger to attack anyone who want her hand and never declare war against her. The Little Mermaid is pretty much Twilight but a lot more toxic and stupid. And I could go on, but we'll be here all day. It really pissing me off that people whiny and complain about the remake of Snow White when they going on and on how disrespectful it is when the movie didn't even come out and refuse to see a different take on the Snow White story. Seriously, people, you getting pissed off when they want to make Snow White a stronger character that could take on his evil stepmother in awesome fight. Not to mention that they call anyone who like remakes for legit reasons pedophiles. And they even go as far to accuse the actresses of Snow White and Mulan as child molesters. How the hell is that justifiable? Disney's live-actions remakes are not like Teen Titans Go, Thundercats Roar, Powerpuff Girls 2016 and Ben 10 Reboot. They fix things from the original or take a different approach to the story and characters that will make it more interesting.
Starting off with the fact that the original creators don't want this kind of stuff, almost ever. We've all heard of how Steven Hillenburg never really wanted a reboot of SpongeBob, but ever since his late passing, Nick has capitalized on 2 already, with both thankfully pulling in little to no ratings.
It has been proven that Steven never said that, and also if you think that Nickelodeon wasn't going to do spin-offs regardless if Steven didn't want it, you're delusional.
When a reboot is properly wanted by the creators, it usually does quite well, and actually delivers true to the vision. But when it doesn't, it's just a floundering attempt to show it was good and unique and cash in on someone else's creation. Let's give it bright, saturated animation to the point where kids get a corneal ulcer. Why not? Kids like colors, right? I feel like everything I'm saying only relates to reboots post-2010, because prior to that, most reiterations weren't like this. Most were better than the originals, and actually kept gritty tones with cool brooding art styles. Now it's just a rainbow contest to see which show is brighter than the rest. Maybe that'll keep the kiddies in their seats a little longer. Let's make all the characters flanderized and dumb while we're at it. Kids can connect to dumb people more, right? It also gives us a cheap way of actually creating humor. Stupid people are funny.
Just to show how much you don't know the differences between a reboot or sequel. Batman Beyond and Ben 10 Alien Force 2 Ultimate Alien are continuation of the original. Just a simple Google search could told you that.
A reboot is a fan service that you never really have to deliver to the original fans of the old property. You can't just say you're delivering something new for the current generation while abandoning the people who made your franchise what it is by watching all those years ago. Don't ruin our childhoods for your own creative laziness.
My guy. Some of these reboots aren't made for people like you, they are made for the new generations of kids. Even if we have terrible reboots like the Teen Titans Go, that is not an excuse to say the objectively stupid ruined my childhood statement that so many of you man-children use.
Wants to talk about it, but the current bandwagon is the whole race swapping thing they'll have to do with animated characters. April O'Neil, Timmy Turner, Velma.
Oh boy. The blackwash point. Sigh, where do I begin with this? When it come to the blackwashing of characters topic, a large majority of the time is just racist losers like air to complaining about something that no one should give a flying fuck about it. The only time when blackwashing was stupid and deserved the criticism is with Netflix Cleopatra, but that was a documentary about history and real people. In fiction, blackwashing shouldn't even be an issue to complain about. Because what should really matters is about the characters if they are writing well. About April O'Neil be black, she was originally supposed to be Asian at first in the comics, however Peter Laird always see her as white. And Kevin Eastman he name April after his girlfriend who she is a mixed race, part of that is black. But why the hell does it matter what race April is when all that matters about April is about be good friends with the turtles and help them out? Hazel, like I said before, is not Timmy blackwashed. So using her as an example for your idiotic argument is shameful and gross.
Etc. Then there's the whole voice actress thing. Remember when Hank Azaria was shamelessly ousted from playing Apu in The Simpsons because he wasn't the race of the character? Because I do. It's almost like actors are supposed to portray things that they're not. Here's another shocker. This guy is actually not an anthropomorphic sponge. I mean, it's not just Azaria. This happened to Mike Henry too for playing Cleveland Brown. Alison Brie literally apologized for playing Diane from BoJack because the character was Vietnamese. Oh, so if a Vietnamese person has to voice that character and she feels so sorry about it, will she donate all the money she made on that show to Vietnamese charities? Or no, is it just a bunch of false outrage for a non-issue no one genuinely cares about?
Why are we talking about voice actors when we are talking about blackwashing in reboots? What the hell these two have common? About APU. Don't you think that it will make way more sense to have an actual India person voicing APU than a white guy that goes for blacks, Asians, etc. for pretty obvious reasons? I mean, really think about it. If they are people in color that are good at voice acting, that can voice characters like APU, why the hell we shouldn't cast them?
When everything is racial, that's the only thing I can see when watching. I never saw Blade as a black character, or Cyborg or Gerald as Static Shock. A lot of my favorite characters are people of various ethnicities and racial tones.
What the fuck are you doing?
My guy. Why the hell are you using Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks? Who definition of a Uncle Sam, one of your favorite characters? What the hell is wrong with? Aside from this mindfuck, you don't see characters like Blade, Cyborg, Gerald, and Virgil as black. My guy. Their race play a major role in their stories about racial prejudice. Especially with Cyborg and Virgil, when the cartoons that they are in have an episode about racism. Also, don't call Virgil Static Shock. That the name of the cartoon, not the name of the character, you moron. Also the majority of the characters you show are white, not people in color.
The black female Timmy Turner is clearly just a cheap attempt to reboot this property without any other significant pitches for change. I mean, for the diversity folks, there must be a point where this hurts the cause more than it helps.
You won't let go that Hazel is Timmy but black, when in reality she is not Timmy, aren't you?
Butch Hartman wants Timmy to be race and gender swapped, which is why he has absolutely no direct involvement in the creative department of the project. I find that unlikely. It's absolutely insulting to ruin a person's original vision of a character just because people want to see themselves on screen. These people are too uncreative to create their own original stories, so they need to ruin existing stuff to be able to call themselves inclusive and hip with the times.
My guy. There a video of Butch that was excited about it, the reboot. Butch knew about the making of the new cartoon. He wasn't kept in the dark. And honestly, this is for the better, because the original is a overrated piece of garbage that wasn't even good in the first place. Like, come on. A show that is nothing but mean, cruel, and the character be a punching bag is not funny or creative, it's sad. Not to mention that in every single episode it's the same thing over and over and over again. Timmy makes a wish that doesn't go well. Cosmo is a brain-dead unfunny idiot that isn't aware of what he's saying. Wanda been the unfunny female that is smartest than the Cosmo just because. And I could go on and on. Reboot is better than original because is nothing like the original and explore things that the original never did.
In live action, you could claim that the actor's audition and skill level determine who gets the role, and that would be fair, but it's totally different with an animated character made of pixels. Although even that's under question these days when the new Snow White or Ariel can't even sing but are preferred over tons of other actors. I don't know, am I crazy?
Yes. Yes, you're. Not just that, but also stupid and biased. Halle Bailey can sing wonderfully as Ariel. In fact, she sings better than the original. Have you listened any of Halle's song covers? Oh wait, you didn't bother to find Butch video, so you wouldn't even bother to do that.
People just disagree with this because it's the right thing to say or whatever, but most people would probably agree with these common sense points deep down. When a character is good, race shouldn't matter, nor should the new spin you put on the character, whether it's a gimmicky change in the age, the gender, the design more broadly, or their persona and attitude in a larger sense.
And yet you still refuse to accept that Hazel isn't Timmy. You're last person that should talk, especially the comments you said about Blade, Cyborg, Gerald, and Virgil.
Stupid. Anyway, can't wait to see a Static Shock or Spawn movie, and while they're at it, it wouldn't hurt to race swap one more movie, would it?
What the fuck are you doing?
I think I should stop here because this video is starting to giving me a headache. The video sucked. Air is a racist moron. I'm off to bed.